All right, today we're going to take a deep dive into a song called Pure Blood by the Monkey Dance, and we're using it to really get our heads around a super powerful tool, satire. What's so interesting about this song is how it takes the language of extremism and just turns it completely on its head, dismantling the whole ideology from the inside.
Yeah, a line like that just hits you in the gut, right? And it's supposed to. But here's the thing. This isn't some kind of celebration. No way. This is the first punch in what is, honestly, a brutal satirical takedown. So let's unpack exactly how the song cleverly uses this kind of language to fight back against itself.
So for our introduction, our Einleitung, this song, Pure Blood, is just a perfect case study. It's this incredibly sharp and, often brutal look at the contradictions that are right at the core of extremist thinking. Our goal here, what we're really trying to do, is use this text to figure out how satire actually works as a form of criticism.
And this is so important to get. Satire isn't just about pointing and laughing. That's too simple. The really good stuff, the effective stuff, it's like it holds up a giant crystal clear mirror to an ideology. It forces you to see all the hypocrisy, all the self-delusion that people inside that bubble just can't or won't see. It's a tool designed to take things apart.
So, the big question is, how do we actually do that? How do we break it down? Well, a really solid textual analysis needs a game plan. So think of this next part as us laying out our toolkit. We're going to show you the tools, and then we're going to use them to take this song apart piece by piece and see what makes it tick.
All right, here's the plan. First, we'll look at the Inhalt and Dramaturgie, the content and the story arc. Then, step 2, we're going deep on Sprache and Stilmittel, the language and all the literary devices. After that, step 3 is form and structure, the shape of the song itself. And finally, step 4, we bring it all together in the synthesis and Kernaussage to find the core message. It's basically our roadmap for digging beneath the surface.
Okay, let's get into the language, the Sprache, because this right here is where the song's real knockout power comes from. It is built from the ground up on this foundation of just bitter irony. It's constantly, relentlessly showing us this huge gaping canyon between what the speaker says he is and what his life is actually like.
So it starts with this big, puffed-up claim. The speaker is painting himself as this champion of these huge, noble ideas, right? Honor, tradition, and pride. I mean, these are massive, powerful words. And then, bam, the song just pulls the rug out from under him. That grand claim gets totally torpedoed by this pathetic reality. This supposed defender of tradition and honor is just stuck in some dead-end, mindless job. The whiplash between those two ideas, that is totally intentional.
In this contrast is where the satire gets its teeth. You can see it right here. On one side, you have these big claims, honor and pride, and on the other, the reality, mindless labor. The song just keeps doing this over and over, smashing the speaker's inflated ego against his boring, frustrating life. It just lays the hypocrisy completely bare. Let's look at another one, because this is a huge one. The song points out how this guy's entire sense of power comes from being in a crowd. This whole warrior thing, it only works when he's got backup.
And this just illustrates the point perfectly. His public persona? A tough warrior. But his private reality? He's isolated and just loud. It's a brilliant way of showing how that group identity is just a mask, It's hiding a deep individual insecurity. The second he's alone, poof, the power's gone. All that's left is just empty noise.
And this line, this gets right to the absolute core of the victim mentality the song is dissecting. The claims of being superior are just a shield. It's a defense mechanism to avoid dealing with his own failures. It's so much easier to just blame everyone else than to look in the mirror.
Okay, so we've talked about the words. Now let's talk about the structure of the song, because this is not random at all. The way the song is built is specifically designed to hammer home this message of a broken, endless cycle. It's a classic rule of good writing, right? Form and meaning are always connected.
So every single part of this song has a job to do. You've got the verse, which lays out a new contradiction. Then the pre-chorus comes in and ramps up that ironic tension. The bridge? That's where it goes after the leaders, exposing their corruption. And then there's the chorus, which is the real anchor of the whole thing. It's what traps the speaker in his own little loop of misery. Yeah, the chorus is literally a trap. Think about it. It comes back again and again, and it always lands in the same place. A lonely room, an anonymous keyboard, and a whole lot of self-pity. That repetition isn't just catchy, it's the whole point. It shows us that this guy is stuck. He's not going anywhere. He's just locked in his own internet echo chamber, completely unable to break free. So, let's bring it all together. Our synthesis. When you take the language, all those contradictions we talked about, and the song's structure, and you put them all together, something really powerful starts to emerge, a central metaphor. The song stops being just a critique of hate, and it starts actually defining what hate is.
And here's the core message, the big takeaway. This whole ideology, it promises you power, it promises you're better than everyone else. But what our analysis shows is that it delivers the complete opposite. It's not a weapon, it's a trap. It's a prison you build for yourself, a totally self-inflicted wound.
And then comes the final line, the gut punch that seals the deal. Your hate is your cage, and you swallowed the key. Wow. It just sums up the entire argument of the song, doesn't it? The powerlessness isn't someone else's fault. It's self-inflicted. The loneliness is a choice. The cage was built from the inside, and you're the one who threw away the key. Just devastating.
You know, when you take apart a text like this, you can see so clearly how these ideologies work. The flimsy logic, the desperation fueling it all. Satire is an amazing tool for exposing the mechanics of hate. It just lays it all out on the table. But, and this is the big question it leaves us with, is that enough? Is just showing that an idea is absurd actually enough to stop it? That is something worth thinking about.